Okay, so we are ready to sew now that we have our machine all threaded. So we're just gonna turn the power switch on the side. You'll see the little light come on. That lets you know that your machine is on. Now, to get ready to sew a straight stitch, we probably want our length to be on 3, which is pretty average. We want to leave our tension at 4, which is also average. And then we want to find just our straight stitch. So if I look down at my little guide right here, we're going to use A, which is just with the stitch going right down the middle. So I go up to my stitch selector and turn it to A, and then I'm ready to go. So I've just got myself just a little scrap of fabric. It's just a little piece of white cotton broadcloth. Cotton broadcloth is a great thing to practice on because it's really easy to work with and it's really cheap. So it's something I would suggest just to kind of practice, just so you can get a feel for how the machine is going to work. So you're just going to slide your little piece of material underneath your little foot here. Now there's going to be a little lever in the back of your machine. Mine is just up here. This is going to raise and lower your foot. So I just flick it down and that puts the pedal down and secures the fabric in place so that I can't really wiggle it. Now I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to hold my threads at the back here so they don't slip out on me. I'm going to turn the wheel with my hand that's on the side of my machine. It's going to make my needle come down. I'm just going to jab it into the fabric there. And then I'm ready to start. So I'm just going to hold my fabric. I kind of use this hand to keep it steady, and I kind of hold the end of the fabric with my other hand and just gently apply some pressure to the pedal, which is going to make the machine go. So we're just going to do a straight stitch here. And that's all there is to it. So to get my fabric out, I'm going to lift that little foot up again, and I'm going to make sure my needle is up, so crank my wheel again so that the needle comes up out of the fabric. And then I'm just going to pull it out, and you'll see there's the little threads that are still attached on the bottom. So I'm going to pull it out a little ways, and then I'm just going to cut those threads. Let's see if I can make you see that here. So I'm just going to cut those threads about here, and then take the thread ends and put them back there so I'm ready to go again. And then just take a little look at my little line that I've just sewn there. So to do a zigzag stitch, I'm just going to make sure that my stitch selector is on zigzag. So if I look up here, it's on C, and if I look down at my little legend, C is zigzag, so that's good. I'm going to take my scrap of fabric and I'm going to position it under the foot. Again, just like we did for the straight stitch, I'm going to pull a little lever and just drop the foot onto the fabric, hold my threads at the back so that they don't slip out on me, crank my wheel by hand so that my needle just kind of sticks into the fabric there, and then I'm ready to go again. So I just hold my fabric, secure it with my hands, and apply some gentle pressure to the pedal. You get to the end of the fabric, lift the foot up, crank the wheel up so that the needle is out, gently pull the fabric out just like we did before, and then snip the threads, put those threads back there so we're ready to go for next time, and I can just take a look and see that's made a zigzag line. So one other thing that I want to get familiar with before I kind of move to the next step while I'm still practicing on my little scrap here is just reversing. Now you reverse your stitch to be able to secure it in place so that it's not going to pull out on you. So I'm just going to practice. I'm just going to put my fabric, again, just position it under the pedal here. Use the lever to lower the pedal, hold the threads, crank the wheel to poke the thread into the fabric. Now I'm just going to apply some pressure to the foot like before. I'm just going to go forward a little bit. Okay, then when I've gone forward that little bit, I'm going to hold down my reverse switch, which is this right here. So I just push this down and then I push apply some pressure to the pedal again, and it's going to go backwards a little bit. So I go backwards, and then I release the button, and then I go forward again. And then I'm good to go. And now that stitch is secured at that end and will not pull out. So I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to secure it by reversing when I get to the end as well. So here we go, just doing a straight line. Okay, now we get to the end, we want to secure it so it doesn't pull out on that end. So I push my reverse button down, back up, and then let go of it and go forward. And then that is secured. So I pull this out, lift the needle up, lift the lever, pull gently, snip the threads, and then I can kind of see at the top here. If you see this one, this is just the first one we did. Eventually that would pull out and come loose, but this is the one that we've reversed and secured. So it's gone forward, it's gone back, and then forward again, which locks it in place so that that wouldn't pull out on you.